Paying yourself first is a part of your plan. It is not the plan, it is a part of your plan.
The biggest thing about this is consistency. You don't want to continue to give your money away to everyone else and not keep any for yourself.
Infinite banking is a process, and you have to plug in good habits to this process in order for it to work.
If you don't have a plan, you're planning to fail. What's up, Wealth Nation? Today's topic, we're talking about paying yourself first and making sure that you understand the mechanics of how this whole thing works. Yeah. My name is Carmen.
And I'm Darius. And paying yourself first is very, very important. But the next move should be your best move. And a lot of times what we do is we get stuck on, or we don't even get stuck. Well, we get stuck on not even doing the first step.
Exactly. We don't even get started.
And that's why we keep talking about paying yourself first over and over again.
Yeah. Because really we wanted just to take the time to dedicate what we really mean by paying yourself first in the first place. Because I think throughout the whole journey of, your financial journey, people are trying to figure out, what do we do? How does this whole thing work? And so for us, what we want to make sure that you understand, the first point that we're going to be addressing today is that you need to establish a system where you have an expense account where your daily expenses are being paid from, and you need to have a savings account where you are literally paying yourself first every single time that you get paid.
Right. And that savings account is key, because everything that you do for yourself will be there. That's where your emergency fund is.
Yeah.
That's where a lot of people get caught up on. I need to have 3 to 6 months in savings. And after that, I can just blow it. Yeah. But that's just the first piece of it. We have to take this a step further, because how are you going to continue putting yourself in a safe place if you just have money sitting there not doing anything?
Yeah.
Notice, I was just going to say, notice what I just said, sitting there, not doing anything. 3 to 6 months of savings, not doing anything.
Yeah, I think it's important that we address that, which we definitely will. So going back to paying myself first, a lot of times people reach out to us and go, Darius and Carmen, how can I pay myself first? I can barely afford to, pay all the expenses at the end of the day. And then how much do I pay myself? So really what we think that you should at least start with is 10% of whatever your income is. That should be always paid to yourself first. And you can do that in a few different ways. You can have your employer separate the direct deposit. 90% goes to your checking account, 10% goes to your savings account. So that way it's already done automatically. Or the minute the money hits your account, you already have an automatic transfer ready to move the money over. And that's how we always like to automate things, because you don't even have to think about it. It's being done. Now, to address the point as far as how am I allocating these funds without rocking the boat of my expenses, we need to figure that out first, because you should absolutely be able to save money and pay all of your bills without any issues. If you're having issues, that means in the spending category, in that spending bucket that you have, you may be overindulging in some categories. Maybe your home is too expensive. Maybe your car is too expensive. And
no, it's not you maybe. You are definitely overindulging if you don't have enough money to pay yourself to save.
Yeah, to reallocate the funds. And what I mean by too expensive, you may say to me, oh, I can afford the monthly payments, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the fact that your monthly payments are taking up too much of your income so that you can't pay yourself. You can't afford these other things because your car or your house or whatever it is taking up too much of your income.
Yeah. And there's 2 points that I want to make. And the first one being that the emotional benefit of having funds set aside, it really goes a long way in you playing this money game.
Yeah.
Because if, let's say you pay all your expenses and you go to the end of the month and you don't have anything to save for yourself, that takes an emotional toll on you to where you feel like you don't have enough money or there's some lack somewhere in your life, and that doesn't give you the opportunity or the confidence to take shots in places you need to.
Yeah.
So if you do have funds aside, let's say you put your money aside first, but then you go and pay your bills and you don't have any money left, you can always look and see that you paid yourself first, and there's money available for you to go out and make more money. The whole idea of making more money and investing in assets or investing in yourself, it has a lot to do with confidence. Confidence, I would say, is for us is about 80% of the opportunities that you decide to shoot at. And if you don't have any confidence, then 9 times out of 10, because you start with the lack of confidence, then a lot of times the things that you want to do, you do out of just pure, you're just trying to make something happen.
It could be ignorance, it could be emotions, it could be all of it.
Yeah. You do something out of the fact that you're trying to make something happen. It's like a Hail Mary. And how many times have you seen Hail Marys work? They only work on TV. But for the average person, you have to have a plan, which brings me to my second point. Paying yourself first is a part of your plan. It is not the plan, it is a part of your plan. And the way Carmen and I started off our finances when we started to become successful is the first thing we did is pay ourselves first. The first thing we do now is pay ourselves first. All the other wealthy people that we know of, the very first thing they do is pay themselves first, because that's the beginning of their plan. Now, money goes to those who have a plan. And if you think that's not the case, look at where your money goes. There is going to somebody that has a plan for your money. And best believe the bank has a plan for your money. You may not have one, but the bank does. So by you not having a plan, that's why you end up not having or being in a position that you want to be in financially, because you don't have a plan. So at the end of the day, make sure you have a plan for your money, because your money will follow the actions that you tell it.
Yeah. So basically, if you, what's the quote? If you don't have a plan, you're planning to fail.
There you go.
And that is what really is encompassed within your money. So that's why we want to make sure today we're stressing how to pay yourself first. So again, look at your income. Now, figure out what 10% of that is. Figure out what 20% of that is. Maybe you can afford to pay yourself more. And these stipulations are up to you. But at the bare minimum, you should be paying yourself at least 10% of your income, because you don't want to continue to give your money away to everyone else and not keep any for yourself. So very first point, go find that savings, 10%, put it away, lock it up. The second point that we want to address with this video is, like we said, the action of finding the money. The second part is being consistent with actually paying yourself, because it's one thing for you to understand what the numbers are. It's another thing for that money to continue to be banked every single month without fail. Right. That's the biggest thing about this, is consistency, because it doesn't make sense for you to pay yourself in January, skip February, maybe come back in April, maybe hit it back in September. You're not doing anything. You're not being productive with these savings, because what you need to recognize is that your expense account is blow money, basically, right? That's money that you're not necessarily going to see again, because you have to pay your utilities, you have to pay whatever expenses are. Your savings is really the strategic account in which it's going to allow you to live the lifestyle that you want to live, because we're going to take that savings account and we're going to do something with it. We're going to make that money make money, and it's not just going to sit. So that's why for us, when we think about infinite banking, we always want to coach our clients up to make sure that they are good stewards of money, and that they're in the habit of saving, and that they're in the habit of creating cash flow, because without it, the policies can be affected, your whole banking system can be affected. And we want to make sure that off the gate, you have a really good understanding and respect for money.
Yeah. And just off the gate, or if you come to us and say you want a policy, but you have a problem saving money or paying yourself first, then we've told our agents not to sell you a policy, because the policy isn't going to help you do the first step. The first step is paying yourself first. You should be doing like years ahead of the time. Like we're trying to put you on game when it comes to using life insurance as a tool, but you have to do your part or due diligence initially so that you can actually get into the game.
Yeah.
Paying yourself first should be the easy part. It's the automatic thing. Having a plan is the free stuff. We should take advantage of all the free stuff that we have to do, or stuff that only requires effort and energy, and not time and not money.
Yeah.
And we have to execute on those things. Those are the tangibles that we need to be successful with money. Infinite banking is a process, and you have to plug in good habits to this process in order for it to work. Having a life insurance policy is just a tool. Yeah. And I read a book, An Asset, by Caleb
Williams.
Williams, that referred to the life insurance policy as just a tool, and it's similar to a golf club. Now, if you have to go and play golf, would you rather have $1 million club, or would you have a million dollar swing? And that's exactly what the difference maker is in this process. It's the process, not the policy. So the closest thing you have to being good at this system is the process that you bring into it. And if you don't have a good foundation of paying yourself first, then you really can't start. But just the second part to this video is figure out what that number is for you in savings. Is it 3 months? Is it 6 months? Is it 12 months? Whatever it makes you comfortable.
Yeah.
But since you have a consistent habit of saving, paying yourself first, everything that is over that, you should start investing those funds. You should start using those funds to make money, because that is key. Making more money is key. That's the whole purpose of money, is to make more money.
Now, I want to address what you were saying about habits, and we're not even with this point that I want to make. It's not even about money, because we have a lot of people that come to us and think that the minute they buy a policy, their life is going to change and everything's going to be amazing. And to your point, if you're not bringing bad habits into this, if you are bringing bad habits into this relationship, then it's going to be a challenge for you. That's why for us, it's very important to make sure that you understand this information up front, because just having a policy isn't going to change your vision, is not going to change your goals. You have to come correct with the discipline and the fortitude to see everything through. So this comes with everything. So if you're trying to lose weight, if you want to eat better, if you want to spend more time with your family, whatever those habits are that you want to start adopting for yourselves, at the end of the day, what is the main factor? It's discipline. It's taking the time and taking the action that making the action that it takes to get these things happening. Mm-hmm. You can't lose weight if you're not committed to the plan. You can't eat better if you're committed to Twinkies. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to figure out exactly what it is that you're doing that's affecting your ability to be successful. And you have to take that same lens and apply it to your finances. Why am I unable to save? Why am I unable to get ahead? Why am I still living paycheck to paycheck? You have to figure out what the root cause is. Are you overspending? Are you overindulging in certain things? Are you reckless? See, at the end of the day, do you not have a plan? A lot of these things can be curbed. Like you said, these are free things. Yeah. And all you have to do is do a little bit of math to figure out what that root cause is, and recognize, like, you know what, I'm eating out too much, or you know what, my car is way too expensive and taking, 50% of my income. And that's why I'm struggling to make these other things meet, because my car is eating up into everything. So first of all, look in the mirror, evaluate that, and then determine, okay, how am I going to move forward? Because again, like we said, we absolutely want to serve as many people as we can, but we can't serve you if you can't serve yourself.
Right. And all these things that Carmen mentioned, they're habits. We don't break habits. Like, if you have a habit of smoking, that's a habit. What you can do is you can switch that habit out with another one. So what our job is to have more good habits than bad habits, because habits don't break. We just change them. So, and a good example of this is I have family members who had to stop smoking, and what they replaced that smoking habit with was food. Is that they stopped smoking, but is overeating still a problem? They switched that habit with another habit. We have other friends that instead of curbing their smoking habit, they started going to the gym. They replaced that bad habit with the good habit. Yep. It's the same thing that is the case when it comes to overspending. Success is a habit. So we have to figure out what habits that we can start for ourselves that can put us on the right track for success.
Yeah. And not hinder us in a different avenue. But like you said, we stopped smoking, but now we're overeating, and now we've gained a ton of weight, and now our health is still affected.
Right.
So what is that to your finances?
It's the opposite of success. What's the opposite of success? Failure. So failure is a habit. So is success. Let's make sure our habits set us up for success.
Wow. I never thought about it that way when you said failure is a habit, because you continue to do things that are not putting you in the right position.
Over and over again, yeah.
The definition of insanity. And wow, that's really powerful. And I never thought about that. Failure is a habit, and so is success. I totally get that and understand that. So, okay, moving on to the third point that Darius started talking about, which is with the savings and investing. So for us, when we talk about paying yourself first, please hear us loud and clear. We are not saying to keep your money inside the savings account. We're most of all just telling you that you need to get in the habit of saving money, of getting used to the system that you're building for yourself. Because like I said earlier, we're going to use our savings account to leverage so that we can do more, we can create cash flow and really bring home that lifestyle that it is that we're trying to do.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, the reason why we're harping so much on paying yourself first and successful habits is because banking is a habit.
Mm-hmm.
Like when we use our funds with our banking system, it's a habit.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a habit of using our banking system to make more money. And when you watch our old videos and you hear me talk about how we use our banking system to go on vacation or to pay off our rent or pay our rent up for a year or to pay for dinner, is because psychologically it has become a habit. It has become habitual that every single time we spend money, there's an opportunity to make money. And the reason why that's the case is because someone is always making money every time you come out your pocket.
Mm-hmm.
So why not start thinking of different ways or put yourself on that wavelength, subconscious wavelength of making money from every single thing that you do, because somebody is.
Mm-hmm. It's true. Now, the important thing well, all of this is important, but really once that discipline has cemented in your brain, the next thing is, like you said, how am I going to make money from this?
Mm-hmm.
Because when we put our emergency fund away, when we put the 3 to 6 months away, whatever it is, it's always sitting there, and money sitting or money stagnant is not doing anything for you. So that's why for us, we totally love the idea of infinite banking, which is being able to just take our savings account and move it into a whole life insurance policy. That way we can earn a guaranteed return and we can get a death benefit, God forbid something were to happen to us.
Mm-hmm.
Double whammy on top of that. And in addition, since our money is compounding, we're still able to access those funds and do whatever we want with it.
Right.
So if anything, we're just creating a different system by just moving our money to a different financial product, which is something that is definitely to your benefit. So if you want to learn more about that, click on the link below in this video so you can learn how to create your own banking system. Now, making money from your savings account. Who knew that you could possibly do something like that? I know for
people
us,
that got money.
Yeah, of course they knew. We didn't know anything about that. We're like, yeah, I don't really understand how this works, but now we totally understand how this works because we do it for ourselves.
Think about it. There's two sides to every single game. There's an offense and defense.
Yeah.
Your 3 to 6 to 12 months of savings is your defense.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how do we get on offense? We have to put ourselves in a position to make some passive income.
How can we start scoring?
How can we start scoring?
Mm-hmm.
How can we start putting points on the board?
Mm-hmm.
We do that by getting on offense.
Mm-hmm.
And the crazy thing about us living in these United States of America is there's so many opportunities surrounding us to where we feel overwhelmed of the opportunity.
Ooh, the shiny object. There's always something to do. There's always something to do.
There's always something advertised to get you to maybe make more money or get you to spend money.
Yeah. And then because it can even talk about business, because we have so many people, I want to start a business. And then you end up starting 70 different businesses and you don't start one. So really making sure that you're keeping in mind with the shiny object syndrome, be aware of that. And basically what the shiny object syndrome is you get your attention is changed for all the new opportunities that come. All of a sudden, I want to do this. Now I want to do this. Now I don't want to do this. Now I want to do this. That's what the shiny object syndrome is. And we all fall upon it. We've fallen upon it, but we recognize that you have to get to a point where you can't keep operating this way. At some point, you have to commit to something.
Yeah, and it's something that we had to learn to do, because here's just a brief story. When Carmen and I first got started into infinite banking, we were doing real estate, and our bread and butter was lending on real estate investment properties. But once we started getting our policies going and we started having money, then we started thinking that we could lend on just anything.
Yeah.
We started lending on cars. We started doing personal loans. We were doing
anyone who needed money.
We were doing like umbrella loans for multiple houses. We were lending basically to anybody with money. But what we learned is the collateral that you need in order to lend money, it is not something that we wanted. So what we had to figure out is that we need to become specialists with our money. So when it comes to you figuring out an idea on what kind of passive income or what type of investment that you want to do, yes, initially try a bunch of different things to see what you really like. But at some point you're gonna have to pick one. You're gonna have to figure out your major.
Oh, I like it. I like it.
You go into the money school, you're gonna have to figure out your major and specialize in it.
And specialize in that. I like in the comments, someone said you got to stay focused. That's exactly what we're trying to say. You got to stay focused, because there's always going to be opportunity. There's always going to be distraction. And if you continue to play into all of those distractions, then it's going to deter you from accomplishing your goals. And we know that all too well. You know, we've had to get to the point where we have to remove ourselves from family and friends for a minute just so that we can get focused on our business and see it through, because we kept getting distracted by all the other things that were coming our way. And determining on whatever it is when it comes to your savings, remember, you have to have that discipline. You got to be focused. Are you going to go out and hang out and spend money frivolously? That's not doing anything for you. Or are you going to be like, hey, you know what? No, I need to be focused, and I need to bootstrap a little bit, and I need to put these funds away so that I can at some point do exactly what it is that I want to do. But there's a process and there's a system that goes into this, and it's going to take a little bit of time for you to build it up. But the point is staying focused. So thank you for that.
Yeah. Your whatever you decide to specialize in is basically your filter, because when you have money, opportunity always finds you.
Yes.
You don't have to really figure it out. What you have to figure out is what opportunities you want to pass on and which ones you want. So having a specialty allows you to hone in on all those opportunities coming your way.
Yeah. So if you all are still with us, give us a thumbs up so we can see the engagement. Thank you guys for all of your interactions and everything on the chat. So the other thing that I want to address is when we talk about shiny object syndrome and then investing opportunities, like you said, the filter, you have to figure out what is it that you specialize in? What are the things that you already know that you could possibly monetize? Because what we find that people do is they spend so much time reading and learning and educating on something that they have no knowledge about, which is fine. Hear me out. You should always be educating yourself. But the thing is you are right now a subject matter expert in something. You are getting paid for something right now today. This is your subject matter expertise, but yet you're spending all this time over here trying to learn whatever this is when you know something right now and maybe could just brush up on those skills. So what I'm saying is sometimes we take for granted the information that we know. So what do we possibly know right now that we could take and utilize for monetization, starting a business, investing, whatever it is, so that we're not draining ourselves of time and resources researching something else that may not be our expertise just yet.
Yeah.
And then at whatever point, if something interests you, then go research it. But right now, utilize the knowledge that you have right now to make money.
And it could go back to focus, because if we're trying to figure out the root cause, if you don't have focus, you can't even start to think about what you're actually good at if you're trying to put out these fires right here around your feet. So one of the things that we
hold on. Whew. You just took me back for a moment. So do you remember what you said?
Yeah.
Can you repeat it?
I think I can. So a lot of times we can't focus on the opportunities that we can create for ourselves because we're too busy trying to focus on putting out these fires right around our feet.
Did you all hear what Darius said? I mean, I think that's the most powerful thing, because the whirlwind of the day-to-day life that we live in, it's
a distraction.
There's so many. I just got distracted 3 minutes ago before we started this video, and I'm like, oh, Carmen, focus, right? So if you are constantly being distracted every single day, how in the world can you even know what your specialty is? Thank you.
So maybe we have to focus on those things first. How can we make sure our just around us stays just have solitude around us? How can we put ourselves in a position to do that so that we can take the time to even think about what we're good at? Because one of the problems that I understand that people have is that I don't think we understand that there's a difference between spending money and using money. Right?
Taking them to church today, Darius.
There's in both situations, money's coming out of your pocket, but it's for a different purpose. Now, when we think about spending money, those nice shoes, that's spending money. $100 pair of jeans, that's spending money. What else?
Your car.
You're putting rims on people don't put rims on their car anymore.
But we have.
Yeah, we have in college. I had some 20s. So that for me, that was spending money. But when it comes to using money, it's when you use money, it comes back with friends, right? When you use money, you give somebody a loan that has collateral and they pay you back with interest. That's using money. The banks are experts at using money. But we take the same storage facility and our checking account and we spend money. The thing about spending money is it doesn't come back.
No, it doesn't. Yeah. And that's why we want you to understand the difference between these accounts, right? So going back to what we've been preaching on this video this whole time, your expense account
Full circle.
Yeah, we're coming back. Your expense account at the bank is your ability to spend money, right? We have two buckets, spending money, using money. We want your savings account to be the account where you are using money, where you are putting money out there and it's coming back with friends. It's generating income for you. So for you all as the consumer, we want you to understand that there's a difference.
And that's it. We're consumers. That's the team that we inherited. We inherited, like a lot of times, like if we think of our religion, we inherited our religion. We didn't have a choice because that's what my grandmother did. That's what my mom did, and my great grandmother. So the same thing happens when it comes to our finances. Our understanding of finance, we inherit also. But we don't have to keep it. No, we don't have to keep it. And right now, what we're doing when it comes to focus and our specialization, we specialize on spending money.
Because that's all we know.
Same
thing with your health. Sometimes all you know is to eat in a certain way because that's what your family did. But you don't know that you have control, right? You have control over what you do. And all that you need to do is just start educating yourself. So if you're watching the video right now, again, give us a thumbs up on this video, like the video, so that we can make sure that we're all on the same page. Start educating yourself, understanding the difference between spending money and using money. And how are you going to start using money to your benefit? How are you going to start using money so you can monetize your specialty? What is it right now that you can start monetizing on, that you can start getting money from? You can be a consultant in something, right? As of today, and you don't have to spend a ton of money on business loans, on marketing, whatever it is. You can consult in something today.
Right. And just to give you a little feedback in a real talk moment, Carmen and I in savings, we don't have 3 months of savings because we have a life insurance policy for that. We have a life insurance policy for our savings. So any additional funds that come into our life that we've set aside, it automatically goes into our investment account because we already have our savings for emergency taken care of. So the more we continue this system or this process or this habit, the more money we can use to make more money.
Absolutely. And then when we're talking about making more money, how does this work? We're not saying to then take your savings account and then start investing it. We have one step that we add into this process, right? So we're saying take your savings account, put it into a whole life insurance policy so that that savings account can be protected, right? Because you're going to get guarantees, you're going to get life insurance at the end of the day, and that money is going to compound and earn a guaranteed rate for you. Then take those funds and use it for investing. Is it business? Is it stocks? Is it crypto? Is it whatever it is, real estate? But make sure that whenever you take a loan from your policy and invest those funds, you have a guarantee that those funds are coming back. That's the other thing that we don't understand when it comes to investing is what does Warren Buffett say? Never lose money, and then don't forget to never lose money. Those are the two rules of success. Why do we continue to invest in things and we're okay with losing money?
Yeah.
We're okay with it. Oh, I know that I'm only going to bring back so much and I'm okay with the losses.
We're okay with taking risks too.
Yes, no.
Like, you don't have to take any risks because if you have the money, you can make the rules. When the reason why risk is a thing is because that means you're giving up your money to somebody else. So that's what somebody else tell you just in case they lose all your money.
Yeah, you should be okay, Darius. I'm going to take your money, I'm going to invest it, and you should be okay knowing that there's risk and that there's losses. Right. Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Hell no.
the more, in order for me to make money, that means I have to risk more money.
Yeah.
That's not the case. The only people who are risking money are the people that are throwing those Hail Marys.
Let's put this into perspective. Do you think you're going to go to a billionaire and say, Mr. Billionaire, I lost some money? Are you okay with that? You think that how you think they're going to take it?
Okay.
No, they're not going to take it okay, because they're good stewards of money, and they're going to be like, what happened to my money? How do you think they got to $1 billion in the first place? How do you think people with money got to with money in the first place? Is because they don't take risks, and they have guarantees, and they know that their money is coming back.
And they specialize in something.
Exactly. So
try going to a billionaire and asking them how to fix your car, for example. He has no clue. It's okay. It's okay for us to not have any idea how to do something because we are focused on something else.
Mm-hmm.
Ask the brain surgeon how to work a coffee machine.
Oh man. And if he knows how to, you need to find a different brain specialist.
Yeah. ask him how to fix a TV or do some plumbing. He has no clue.
He has too much time on his hands.
and honestly, I'm saying real talk again because I really want you guys to understand this, is that it's okay to not know everything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, you can be a jack of all trades and a master of none.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's where that saying comes from.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you ask somebody that is super successful at one thing how to do something else, they can't even carry on a conversation about it.
Yeah. Because it's not their thing.
And that's exactly what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned this from just this experience with the whole us understanding real estate, banking, and life insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Is that some of the guys that are super successful, they are not the sharpest tool in the shed when it comes to being social about things outside of money.
Yeah. Because again, going back to the specialists. So the point again that I want to harp on, you all, is and I hope that you get this from this video. Whenever you take your savings and then you are investing it, when you're trying to bring back friends, you should never, never, never put yourself in a situation where you are okay with a loss. And the reason being is, again, because people with money do not take losses.
No.
People with money take something called collateral, meaning they get their money back in some way, shape, or form. So you need to be able to be just as diligent and just as disciplined as they are. So if it's time for you to invest in something, you better, for one, make sure that you have some sort of collateral as a guaranteed payback, because every time you lose money, not only did you lose money, but you lost your ability to make more money with those funds. And if you keep occurring losses here, there, everywhere, then guess what's going to happen? You're going to continue to lose more and more money, not be able to keep up with inflation, not be able to keep up with taxes, and then you're right back to the drawing board. Mm-hmm. So I want to stress this, because this is what the part of infinite banking where I feel like a lot of people don't talk about is you can be all in the policy design, how the policy this and that and the other, but then you come to us and go, hey, what do I do with it? And we need to make sure that you understand what to do with the policy, because just having the piece of paper, the policy itself, isn't going to do anything for you, because you need to figure out how you're going to create cash flow from the policy in the first place.
Right. And just circling back to when we say pay yourself first when it comes to this infinite banking process, when you deposit money into the bank, that money is then used. Like, your deposits in the bank is then processed through the bank system to lend money out to somebody else. So when we talk about deposits, we say pay yourself first, and we pay ourselves first into our banking system. Yeah. That is us paying ourselves first, is going into our banking system, so it can be then processed just like a bank and used to make more money. Yeah,
and then when the whole thing that goes out when you're investing, like we talk about, when you have you're bringing money back with friends or whatever it is, you need to figure out whatever interest you are going to be incurring. If you're sending money out, you should definitely be able to make some sort of interest, whether it's from your investment or whatever the case may be. So make sure that when you're investing, you're getting money back with friends and you have some sort of collateral as a guaranteed payback.
Right.
So again, thank you guys for hanging out with us. If you're still with us, like this video so that we can get some algorithm love our way from YouTube. Go ahead.
One thing I want to share as we sign off is the fact that life insurance inside the contract says that you are guaranteed to earn a certain amount.
Yes.
My question to you is, in the entire world, do you think that is the only guarantee contract that you can have? So if the question is yes, then you are right.
Yeah.
If the question is no, you're also right. So there are people that stack guarantees in their favor. That's why they continue to make money. So if you can guarantee to make money, then why not find all those little gold nuggets scattered around, all those little Pokemons scattered out
Pokemon
everywhere?
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. If you say yes, if you say no, either way, you're right, because that's going to be how you manage your funds. That's going to be how you do this thing. So again, we hope that you say yes so that you can continue to make some more funds.
Right. And you said it's a crazy thing question, but do they take losses?
Yeah.
A loss.
Our battery's about to die. Hold on, keep going.
A loss is buying coffee at Starbucks because that money is gone.
Yeah.
So when you think about a loss, start thinking about losses and wins differently, then your mindset and your psychology of money changes also.
Yeah, because so
a loss is whenever you spend money, you don't get it back. So your expenses, you spent money and
you didn't get it back.
It's gone.
Mm-hmm.
And you bought something that isn't adding value to you. So that's considered a loss.
Every single time it's a loss. So then on the contrary, how do you combat that? Now we have to figure out how to create cash flow so that I can pay for everything, all of my expenses, so that I'm not continuing to take on losses. Someone else is paying for Starbucks, not me.
Yeah. And that's the thing about creating a system is you can have, you don't have to be the one depositing money into your banking system, because the banks don't deposit any money into their own banking system. So what you have to do is get from point A to point B to point C to point D.
And I didn't know that. I didn't know that you could essentially outsource your income. Somebody else could pay for your income.
That's called passive income.
I know, but I'm saying when you're learning about money and recognizing like, oh man, I can invest and then those funds can come in and pay for this, that, and the other. Like, we're not taught this in school. Mm-hmm. So it's a huge epiphany once you recognize like, oh my gosh, somebody else can literally take over all of my expenses and I don't have to use my income for this. Huge game changer once you start to understand those nuggets and apply it into your life.
Right. But it all starts with the habit of paying yourself first, because habits is something that you can just outsource in your brain and outsource it to the subconscious mind where you just do it automatically. Mm-hmm. Paying ourselves first is something that we don't even think about anymore. So we don't have to use that brain capacity on paying ourselves first. We can use it someplace else, like making money.
Exactly. So what we'll do, you all have been so amazing. You've been hanging on. So the last part of this video, we're going to start answering just a few questions that we've seen from above. So we're just going to take a few minutes and peruse since this is a live video. Thank you guys again.
There's a lot of comments.
If you're still with us, go ahead and hit that like button so that we can continue to get that engagement. So let's see. Can't wait to get my first loan. Finally got my policy approved. We're so excited. There we go. There we go.
He said, live in a tent in the woods, invest 90% of your income and walk to work.
Why not?
But see, the problem is you're not making enough money, because if 10% of your income you have to live in a tent, that's a problem. If 10% of your billionaires live on 10% or 1% of their income, mm-hmm. but they have so much money.
Yeah, no, I'm reading that as your expenses are so low, just live in a tent and let the rest be put into savings. Why not? If you're that frugal and are cool with taking showers at the gym, do what you got to do.
Yeah, we put about 70 we put about 60% of our income into the bank.
Into savings.
Into our system.
Yeah. Love your videos, extremely helpful. Thank you guys so much. Facts. Thank you guys so much for the love. We really appreciate it. Let's see, what are we missing?
Good morning.
I'm just going through the comments. So
I just use my banking system to upgrade my home. There you go.
There we go.
Because that your home, especially if it's already paid off, is an appreciating asset. Something that you're going to pass on. You're going to pass wealth on to the next generation.
Gotta love it, Christian. What's up? Thank you, Christian, for the love. A member of our team. Are we into crypto? We are not. Not for any other reason other than it's not our specialty.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. So we just haven't gotten into it because it's not our specialty. We have a lot of other knowledge that we need to monetize first before we go start researching all the ins and outs of crypto.
That's one of those shiny object opportunities
that keeps knocking on our door.
Yeah.
We're like, hold on, crypto. We're not ready for you just yet. Let's see. How do I get in contact with you guys? wealthnation.io/masterclass. wealthnation.io/masterclass. In order to get in contact with our team, you have to watch our masterclass first and then fill out an application so that we can serve you and get a policy designed. So that's how you get your questions and everything answered. You have to first watch the masterclass and then apply. Thank you for all the thumbs up. Darius has a book of awesome sayings, doesn't he? He always pulls it out just randomly.
It comes when we're having conversation like these and I get a little heated and it just comes out.
Yeah, I love it. Let's see, is there anything else? I thought I saw a few going through. So basically, your savings is your investment funds, basically. Yes, well, we had kind of touched on that. So again, the savings, what we're doing is parking into a life insurance policy, and then from life insurance policy, we're using it to invest. So we're not taking our savings and then investing, because what happens is, in that case, we don't have a pass-through where our savings has continued to earn a compounded rate, and then we have the life insurance protection. So again, if you understand the ins and outs of infinite banking, whenever you borrow money from the policy, you're not losing your ability to earn compound interest. So your policy is continuing to compound as you're earning interest outside of the funds. Whereas if you take your money from a savings account and put it straight into investment, you're no longer earning any sort of compounding, and it's going straight into the an investment pool. So we want to have our cake and eat it too.
Can you Google translate this one?
So I'm not sure what that is. We'll have to go forth. Thank you guys again for all that information. Good morning, guys.
It was
starting
one in
from
Spanish
scratch. No. Let's see what else. What are the top whole life insurance companies, and what companies do you have? So honestly, a lot of people. The
insurance company is the one you got your policy with.
Yeah, a lot of people, I feel like a lot of agents utilize or name drop insurance companies for sales. Honestly, what you need to do is work with a mutual dividend paying whole life insurance company
and an agent that has a life insurance policy.
That's it.
Using their life insurance policy.
Okay. So let me preface. Let me go back. You need to work with a dividend paying mutual whole life insurance company. It doesn't matter if it's number 1 on the board or number 17. The main thing is you need to work with an insurance agent who is doing infinite banking. Right. Again, like I said, I feel like in the industry, so many people just name drop. Oh, you need to work with this company. You need to work with this company. No, you need to work with an agent who's banking and who is actively taking loans and can coach you through the process, because it doesn't matter the life insurance company, because really they all work relatively the same.
And it's like saying that you should only bank with JP Morgan.
Yeah.
Because that's the top bank.
Yeah.
But nobody says that.
Yeah.
But then you have your money sitting in your community bank and it's not even on the top 100 list.
But the withdrawals and deposits work the same
way.
Yeah. So again, who is coaching you through this process? And right now we're working with Ohio National Life and Security Mutual Life for us.
Mm-hmm. But we're not married to
them. Let's see what else. Other questions. What do you mean by pay yourself interest? Basically, like we said, whenever you are investing money, you need to make sure that money is earning interest, because we need to be making money with friends. So someone is either paying the interest, or you are paying yourself interest if you're borrowing the money from yourself. Because if you were to put your money on a credit card or get a personal loan, you would have to pay the bank interest. So that's why we're saying if you're going to get money from your policy, you should pay yourself the same amount of money that you would have paid the bank paying yourself interest.
Right.
So you're going to pay the policy loan back plus interest. And if that money's out working for someone else, they're paying the interest.
Yeah. Shout out to Terrence here. He has a good question. If I've seen over a lot of your videos when you said start a side hustle. I found what I would like to do and have a little money to start, but I have no business knowledge to get it started. Any suggestions? You know what? Here's an example. When Carmen and I first started with real estate, what we started doing is going to the courthouse and finding foreclosures and knocking on people's doors. We had no idea we had the theory of what we want to do with real estate. We had a little money and we didn't have any knowledge or experience. So we started where we were and did the free version of real estate until we started getting more experience. And as our experience grew, our knowledge grew and our pockets grew.
Yeah. In addition, what I would say now in COVID, you have such an amazing opportunity to do research online at your fingertips, right on your cell phone. So whatever your discipline is, start watching YouTube videos of people who are in this discipline. See what are the products and the services that they're offering. See how you want to emulate that. Do you want to sell how they're selling, or do you have a different way that maybe they can sell? So all you're doing is utilizing these individuals to study to see how they've structured their business. And then you pick and choose what you like from it. And if you want it to be a digital business, great. If you want to do a brick and mortar, you know how to set that up. I'd say that's probably the cheapest way to get started, is just go see what the competition is doing, because there's obviously demand if there's competition.
Yeah, and like Carmen said, see what the people at the top are doing, and ask them for help.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people that sit on the top of whatever position they're in a position where they can give back, and they have an idea of not necessarily competing, but cooperating.
Yeah. Now, if you go to, this is for everybody, if you go to people and you ask for help, or you say, you know, how can I get started? How can I do this? Always come to the table with something, right? Don't ever just do the, I want to pick your brain scenario. Come to the table with something. Hey, Darius and Carmen, I'd like to sit down with you guys. I have a solution maybe that could help you in your business. So that way, now there's an even exchange, and this individual isn't just educating you. You don't have anything to bring to the table.
It works both ways.
It works both ways, so that the people who you're working with don't feel like you're using and abusing them because you're just taking. Mm-hmm. So always give something else of value that you think this business owner or this mentor could benefit from. And I say that with you because that was a little tidbit that we learned along our way, is that people are much more willing to add value to their life if they see how much value you are able to bring to their lives as well.
Yeah.
One thing that someone said that I wanted to address was maybe a crazy question, but they don't take losses. Are you saying never? I'm saying more often than not.
Yeah. They have more, their lifestyle, their life is a reflection of the fact that they have more wins than losses. Mm-hmm. And you can tell the people who had more losses than wins because their bank account reflects it.
Yeah. And think about it, right? How many times do you want to lose money?
Never. Warren Buffett said to never lose money. Mm-hmm. Rule number 2, never forget rule number 1.
Yeah.
Warren Buffett is a billionaire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So for me, I never want to lose money. And if I ever, which I don't know when that happens, put myself in a position to lose money, I have the backup, which is collateral, meaning that I'm going to get something of value back so that I can either sell it, or now I'm sitting on something that's cash flowing. So again, you always want more wins than losses in life.
Yeah.
I think the last thing, we're just going to go through one more. Yeah, I don't see anything else. Is that
is the monthly payment still necessary?
Mm-hmm. Are we talking about from a saving standpoint? Well, what do you think that means?
Well, since we're talking about paying yourself first, you should pay yourself first every time you get a check.
Yeah.
That's when you get paid on your paycheck, when the stimulus check, with somebody giving you $50 for something that you've done. Always pay yourself first with every dollar that comes in your possession. Pay yourself first. If you get $1, you should be putting 20 cents into someplace.
Yeah, every single time. Like the savings doesn't stop. Maybe we didn't address that or stress that enough. Your savings should never stop, because you always want that to be the fuel that's aiding your investment opportunities, your cash flow opportunities.
Yeah, there's savings, and then under savings there's subheadings, which is emergency fund for 2 to 3 to 6 months or 12 months, and then there's investing, and then under investing there's maybe different subheadings where something you specialize in, or something that you want to learn, or something that's already making you money.
So the $600 a month monthly payment. So I think you're talking in terms of life insurance. So B. Williams, please go to our website, wealthnation.io. We have a chat box there, and a member of our team will be able to serve you there. So hit us up on the website just for clarification there. So
monthly payments aren't, when it comes to insurance policy, is not necessary. No. You have an option to do monthly, semi-annual, quarterly, or annual.
Yeah.
So for us, the most convenient is annual, because we have the funds, we pay it, and then, or we deposit those funds, and then we wait to the next year when there's another opportunity to deposit money.
Again, yeah. So whatever your wallets can afford, if you're doing it monthly, annually, semi-annually, like Darius said, that's all up to you and what your banking system is all about. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to sign off. Thank you so much for hanging out with us this Friday morning. We hope that everyone is well and in good spirits. And remember that everything that you need to do, you need to always figure out how to keep money and never lose it.
Yeah, but the third step is to make money.
Exactly.
But you know what? When Warren Buffett says to rule number 1 is to never lose money, and rule number 2 is never forget rule number 1. By not losing money, you actually end up with more money. right?
Go figure.
Because losing money costs more. It costs you more than making money when you think about it.
Yeah.
Because when you lose money, you also lose your opportunity to make money on the money that you lost. So you, in theory, you kind of lose a whole lot more.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's my 2 cents. We're going to get all that off here because I'll keep talking.
Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for everything, for subscribing. Thank you for hanging out with us. Again, give us a thumbs up, like this video if you're still with us, and remember to own your own lifestyle.
Or the banks will.
That's right, it is possible to create your own bank-like system. And in this video, we are going to show you the exact formula that Darius and I use to implement this into our own lifestyle. Now, in just a few moments, I am going to share with you a replay webinar that Darius and I did together for our entire Wealth Nation community.